Good morning, fellow dreamers. It's been a short while. I've been manifesting a few of my own dreams in between checking in with the Kinder Garden. Thank you for being here. I woke up this morning, little scratchy throat, took some Manuka honey, and thought I would use my voice to speak on an auspicious day. Martin Luther King Day is a special day to me. When I was in AmeriCorps back in, 1998, we got these hats and they said, it's not a day off, it's a day on. Having just taught a yoga class, one of the participants texted me and said, I won't be joining yoga today. I'm going to go clean up the Lake Merritt here in Oakland. And I was like so happy to know that there'd be one fewer person in my class because they were out doing some purposeful action. I really wanted to hone in on choose your own adventure. Anyone who grew up with actual flip books. I know Netflix does their best to make choose your own adventure movies now, but this is an old school question for you. You close your eyes and you check in with yourself. Would you choose to spend the day dreaming or dreading? And even if you want to just ponder this moment here, I think Choi has a choice. She wants me to open the door here. Come on in. Oh, special guest star. Choi is choosing to dream. She usually comes in this room, stares out my window, and looks at some hummingbirds and waits for them to come by. So there's a Xavier Rudd song. If you want to look it up, it's about building a dream. And his lyrics go, patience, please, I'm building a dream. If you have a chance to look that up in one of your song playing apps out there, I encourage you to play that today. I also know Spotify has recordings of Martin Luther King's speeches. We could also allow, and so when we dream, different parts of our brain come online and we get to play around with what shows up. We just think in a way like, what do I want to manifest? What do I want to be true? Now, I'm 55. I'm not a Pollyanna. I'm Polly, but I'm not a Pollyanna. But I do believe that starting there is the point. I've heard from second, third hand that at least the old way that Pixar used to make their movies was that they took their creators and put them in this kind of visionary room where no one was allowed to critique their dreams. And they dreamt a movie idea, characters into life, and then they presented them. Now, of course, from that dreaming room to what we actually see on the screen is probably a long process, but process of many purposeful, dedicated actions. Even if it was just a stick figure there that later became a whole character inside Riley's head in Inside Out 1 and 2. So where do we begin? Second is to think of the other option, which neither of these dogs are going to do right now. I'm going to give you a little look-see. They're just going to dream here for a little while longer. But the other option is to dread. And we could do that by overwatching the news or fixating on something that feels like one of those little pebbles in our shoe when we're walking. And we could just keep pressing into that pebble and feeling, oh, this does not feel good. This does not feel good. However, we could also stop and take that pebble out of our shoe before we continue walking. Again, I'm Polly, but not Pollyanna. I know that the bigger scope of things is way more difficult than taking a pebble out of your shoe. Has to begin somewhere. So I'm going to invite you to choose right at this moment. Do you want to spend this visualization dreaming or dreading? Dreaming or dreading? And if you want to get comfortable, close your eyes, lay on back. I can't quite remember, I haven't played back my video lately, but that whether or not these singing bowls come through on YouTube or whether the sound gets buffered. But I'm just going to ring this 3 times after I let the dogs go outside, and they can do some purposeful actions there. You guys ready? Bye. They already ate, okay. So, with this sense of dreaming, I want you to close your eyes and just give yourself a chance to relax into this present moment. Once you're there, I'm going to have you repeat to yourself, I have a dream. Right? You don't have to know anything else about the rest of Martin Luther King's speech, but for you, I have a dream. And every time you hear the singing bowl ring, hopefully it comes through with my low tech abilities. I'd like you just to complete that sentence. And it could be 3 different sentences. It could be repeating the same one if you really find it on the first round. I have a dream. I have a dream. I have a dream. Oh, so now a cup of coffee too. So next, what is a practical, realistic way when dread comes up? I have some pretty low tech props here, but let's just say you have a tissue or piece of paper, maybe something that you've used and are ready to recycle. I would encourage you, at the very least, energetically, to put any of that dread in this, right? If it's a paper, you might scribble something down. If it's something you want to blow out into, I want you to just get some of that dread out, right? And then crumple it on up. If you have a shredder and it's not full of snot, you could take that piece of paper and shred it on in. Or you could take this, ball it on up, and throw it in the compost. So there are many ways to make sure that dread doesn't fill your head. There are many ways to make sure that you get a dreamy and creamy reality. So this leads us to purposeful action. There could be one little thing that you'd like to do. For me, as I get older and really feel into my physical limitations, one of the purposeful actions of self-care is that I practice handstands. Now, back in the day, I had a little bit more gymnastic ability. I could stand up against the without a wall, but today I'm just going to take one handstand practice against the wall with my wonderful guides here. And I'm going to purposefully come on up into my handstand and repeat to myself while I can stay here. I have a dream. Let that blood flow into my head. I have a dream. I have a dream. I'm going to repeat that 3 times. I'm going to come out of what my purposeful action was, no matter how big or how small. I'm going to let the blood flow back down out of my head. And if I still feel a little bit of dread, where is it? I might take my little snot rag, blow it out some way, somehow, and toss it away. Rinse and repeat. Rinse and repeat. My doggies are saying that my coffee is ready. I think it's time for me to go. I'm going to keep dreaming with you all. I have some more exciting news to share with you. So if you don't see me for a while, you know that I'm creating something that my dream has led me to. From my heart to yours, I give you a hug. Everything is going to be okay. And if you have any wrist tension after writing all that dread down, you just go into your owl eyes, bring some wisdom in, stretch out those wrists, give yourself a little superhero mask temporarily, and let yourself return to your dream. From my kinder garden to your kinder garden, let us celebrate. Till next time.